Have you ever felt so small and powerless that you couldn't possibly change anything? Well, today I'm going to tell you a story about a creature who was exactly that, and yet he took on the most powerful being in the universe. This is the incredible legend of the toad who sued the Heavenly King. Once upon a time, a devastating drought scorched the earth. For months, the sun blazed without mercy. Rivers evaporated, ponds turned to dust, and all life teetered on the brink of extinction. The strongest animals, the lions and tigers, once masters of their domain, now lay gasping, too weak to even move. Their strength was useless against the wrath of the heavens. It seemed like all hope was lost. But in this world of despair, one unlikely hero emerged. A small, warty, purple toad. He looked at the suffering round him and made a decision that would echo through eternity. He was going to march to heaven itself, confront the Jade Emperor, and demand rain, a tiny toad against the king of the gods. Crazy, right? He set off alone, his little legs carrying him across the cracked, barren earth. Soon, he came across a dried-up marsh where he met a crab, waving its pincers irritably. The toad explained his mission and invited the crab to join. At first, the crab scoffed. "Reach heaven, we'd be better off just dying here." But when other animals nearby overheard and started mocking the crab's pessimism, its contrary nature took over. A crab walks sideways, and it thinks sideways too. Just to prove everyone wrong, the crab snapped its pincers and declared, "Fine, I'm in." And so the rebellion had its first recruit. Their journey continued. Further on, they found a mighty tiger, flat on its back, panting for air, and a great bear, slick with sweat from the unbearable heat. The toad, with unwavering confidence, extended the invitation. The tiger hesitated, its royal pride wounded by its own weakness. But the bear, pragmatic and desperate, spoke up. "Brother Toad is right. Are we just going to lie here and die? Even the crab, who can't even walk straight, is going. Why shouldn't we?" That logic was hard to argue with. The tiger and the bear, humbled and thirsty, joined the growing army. Word of their quest spread. They soon encountered a swarm of bees, their honeycombs bone dry, and a clever fox, its beautiful fur singed by the relentless sun. Seeing the determination of the toad and his companions, they eagerly joined the march. This strange and wonderful processioner toad, a crab, a bear, a tiger, a fox, and a swarm of bees finally arrived at the gates of heaven. The grandeur of the heavenly court was overwhelming. The animals, who had been so bold on their journey, now felt a cold knot of fear. The tiger's roar was caught in its throat, the bear shuffled nervously, and the fox's tail drooped. Only the little purple toad remained unfazed. He was the heart of this mission, and his courage was infectious. He gathered his troops and gave them a battle plan. "Listen closely," he commanded with a surprisingly powerful voice. "There is heaven's great water jar. Crab, you will hide inside it. Fox, you stand to my left. Bear, to my right. Tiger, you wait behind me. Bees, conceal yourselves near the gate. If you follow my orders, we will not fail. His friends, trusting their small leader, took their positions. Once everyone was ready, the toad took a deep breath, leaped onto the colossal heavenly drum, and began to beat it with all his might. Boom, boom. The sound thundered through the celestial kingdom, shaking the very clouds. The Jade Emperor, startled from his throne, demanded to know who dared cause such a racket. He sent the Thunder God to investigate. The Thunder God stormed out and saw nothing. No great army, no fearsome demon, just a single ugly toad sitting proudly on the heavenly drum. The Thunder God reported back, and the Jade Emperor flew into a rage. An insolent toad. Send out the heavenly rooster to peck it to death. The giant rooster charged, its beak like a spear, but the toad simply clenched his teeth a signal. In a flash, the fox sprang from its hiding place, seized the rooster by the neck, and dragged it away into the clouds. Stunned, the toad beat the drum again, even louder this time. Boom, boom. Now, the Jade Emperor was truly furious. Send the heavenly dog to tear that fox to pieces, he roared. The celestial hound bounded forward, snarling and snapping. But the toad gave another signal. The great bear lumbered out and, with a single mighty swipe of its paw, struck the dog down. The drumbeats echoed once more. The Jade Emperor was beside himself with anger. This is madness. Send the Thunder God himself. I want them all turned to ash. The Thunder God, armed with his legendary lightning hammer, marched out, ready to unleash devastation. With every swing, thunder cracked and lightning tore across the heavens. This was a power no mortal could withstand. The Emperor was sure it was over. But as the Thunder God advanced, the toad gave his next signal. The swarm of bees burst from their hiding spot and descended upon the god, stinging his face and nose relentlessly. The pain was excruciating. Blinded and desperate, the Thunder God spotted the large water jar at the gate and plunged inside, hoping to soothe the burning stings. But he had jumped from the frying pan into the fire. Inside, the crab was waiting. It clamped its sharp pincers onto the god's neck with all its strength. Screaming in agony, the Thunder God thrashed about, shattering the jar. As he stumbled out, dazed and wounded, the toad gave his final signal. The tiger, silent until now, leaped from behind the toad with a roar that shook the foundations of heaven. It pounced on the weakened Thunder God and, in a display of primal fury, tore him apart. Silence. The entire heavenly court was frozen in terror. The Jade Emperor, pale and trembling, finally understood. This was not just an insolent toad. This was a rebellion born of desperation. He quickly called for a truce. Please, he begged, tell me what you want. The little toad, standing tall amidst the celestial chaos, spoke with the weight of the world on his shoulders. For years, drought has ravaged the earth. Not a single drop of rain has fallen. The trees are skeletons, and all living things, humans and animals alike, are dying. We have come to beg your majesty to send rain and save us all, the Jade Emperor, fearing what other creatures on earth might do if this little toad could cause so much trouble, immediately softened his tone. "Say no more," he said. "Go home. I will send the rain at once." Then he added a crucial promise. "And from this day forward, you won't need to make this long journey again. Whenever you need rain, just grind your teeth. I will hear it as a signal and send the water you need." True to his word, by the time the toad and his friends returned to Earth, the rains were already falling. The life-giving water filled the rivers, soaked the fields, and quenched the thirst of every living thing. And that is why, even today, when you hear a toad croaking and grinding its teeth on a dry evening, you know that rain is on its way. It's a reminder that even the smallest among us, armed with courage and a few good friends, can stand up to the heavens and change the world. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the world of myths and legends. See you next time.